Now, the reason that we are making this point is because what this implies when you don't like something about your life. If you don't like something about your life and your life is Thank you for being here for another channeling session. First thing, please like, subscribe, comment, share on this video. Do it now please so you don't forget. If you haven't read this book yet, then I think that you're missing out. A lot of people are really enjoying this book, The 3 Awakenings That Save Humanity. This is the book that I co-wrote with my guides. This is channeled information, and I think in some ways it'll probably blow your socks off. That's a big call, but just going by the feedback I'm getting from other people, I'm starting to feel confident it may do that to you as well. This is available in the paperback, like you can see here, in ebook and audiobook, and the link which goes to the page which has all 3 is below. If you'd like to have a private channeling session with me, that's something which is also possible. And again, the link is below. Just click that, go to the form, fill out the form, and that'll just start a conversation. It doesn't obligate you to anything. If you'd like to leave a donation, that's something which is possible, and I would be very grateful for that. Somebody had a really great suggestion last week in the comments to put a donate button on the videos, but unfortunately that's still not possible because I don't have 1,000 subscribers. That's the minimum subscriber count I need to be able to do that. So this means the only method I have available to me at the moment is to put a link in the description below this video. So if you expand the description, and maybe you even need to expand it again, sorry it's not so convenient, but you'll see there is a link there to Subscribe Start and a link there going to PayPal, the 2 different ways that you can leave a donation for me. And on to today's question. Is there something about your life you don't like? That's the question. Is there something about your life that you don't like? So if you're watching this and there is something about your life that you don't like, then this channeling session is going to be relevant to you. Greetings and thank you for the question. Is there something about your life you don't like? We are asking you, the viewer, that question because we want to guide you to an understanding about what is occurring when you dislike something in your life and why this feeling or this belief that you have that there is something about your life which is unlikable is actually a damnation of yourself. And it is holding you back in a sense. But of course, everything is perfect. Nothing is going sideways. Everything is as it should be. Because this is the fundamental nature of the One. The One is perfect and it unfolds in a perfect way. Because to the One, all that is occurring within the all, the physical illusion, is done with a degree of indifference. This is not to say that the One does not have love for you, for us, for the all. It has an intensity of love which is unfathomable to all other beings until they eventually, finally, coalesce back into the identity of the One and experience that love for themselves as themselves. This is the potency of the One's love for you. However, the One observes the experiences of the all with indifference because the One is in total faith and understanding that all that occurs is perfection. And all that occurs is the most expedient way for the One to know itself to completion, which is the divine purpose. And this is because each aspect of the all is manifesting their own life. Their life is taking on a quality and an appearance which is perfectly calibrated to who that individual is being. It is the only way that it can be. Therefore, what this implies is that the life that is lived is a perfect reflection of who you are being. There is absolute perfect congruency between these two elements, who you are being and the life that you are perceiving, that you are experiencing. And so it is always perfect, because you are always receiving the most accurate feedback on who you are being. And so the one observes it with indifference, a loving indifference, because the one is aware that it all unfolds perfectly. So, as the one's purpose is to know itself to completion through experience, then this is your purpose also, because you are the one experiencing itself through the unique perspective which is you. You are the one. And therefore, the one's purpose is your purpose. Divine purpose is your purpose. To know yourself to completion through experience. And ultimately, this knowing will culminate with you knowing through experience that you are in fact the one. That will be the completion of the journey and your reason for being created by the one will have been fulfilled to the highest honoring, and you will coalesce back into that identity and become literally the one, and your individual identity will no longer be. But this will not be a loss. This is the one gathering itself back to itself, so that all aspects of itself can be reunited with the pure intensity of love that it is. This is a beautiful and wonderful thing, not a loss. So, for this to occur, for you to know yourself through experience, then your experience must be relevant. If your experience was completely irrelevant to who you are being, then how could any understanding of self be taken from it? It would not make sense. Things would occur in your life for reasons that are unfathomable, because the experiences are completely unrelated to who you are being. So in this scenario, it would be more about luck. Perhaps you are lucky enough that things go right, or perhaps you are unlucky and you are victimized by life, which is being cruel in giving you experiences which you did not manifest. But of course, the one in its perfection did not make a design with these flaws. The design is perfect. And so you are experiencing literal feedback data on who you are being. Your life is a physical metaphor of who you are being. And then when we expand the identity, because the conversation so far has been from the perspective that you are the avatar. You are the body, the mind, the personality. But as you understand from having watched, we assume, channelings that we have done before, that you understand that you are not the avatar, the mind, the body, the personality. And you are in fact the eternal being, the infinite energetic, the infinite, immortal, invulnerable. This is what you truly are. And so the most accurate description of your individual identity is your higher self. Your higher self that spans all lifetimes, that has always existed and always will, until this completion of coalescence back into the One. So, when you are the master of your life, of your physical reality, and you accept and understand that you are not this single being having this current life cycle, but you are instead every incarnation being invigorated by this true aspect of what you are, the higher self. You know yourself as this being you see in the mirror. But really what is occurring is that you are downloading yourself into the physical avatar. So the physical avatar is an antenna, in a sense. It is a flesh suit that you are wearing temporarily during this current life cycle. And the you that is wearing this is the infinite energetic, the higher self. So, from this higher self perspective, this master's perspective, the avatar, this flesh suit and its organic artificial intelligence, and the life that it is living are the same substance. They are the substance of the experience of the higher self. It's all you. You are not separate, living a life. You literally are your life. And you can understand the logistics of this, because your life is a physical metaphor of your beingness. It is literal feedback data on who you are being. It is a perfect reflection of who you are. So how could it be considered as something separate from you? It is you. Your life is you. From this higher self perspective, it is the same substance. It is the substance of the experience of the higher self. The avatar, the life that it is living. Now, the reason that we are making this point is because what this implies when you don't like something about your life. If you don't like something about your life, and your life is all you, then what is this saying? This is saying that you don't like something about yourself. To dislike your life is to dislike yourself. To hate your life or any aspect of your life, whether it's a person or a job or a circumstance, is to hate yourself. Because it is the same substance. The avatar, the life it is living, is the same substance. And it is all occurring within the infinity of the higher self. It is all contained within you. So, clearly the master does not hate themselves. The master loves themselves. And again, by implication, this means that the master loves all aspects of their life, regardless of what it is, or how it presents, or what its impact is on them. They love it nonetheless. So, let us take a moment now for you to consider, what is it about your life that you do not like? What it is about your life that displeases you? What it is about your life that you hate? And realize that this is something that you dislike, hate about yourself. So, it is commonly said in the New Age realm within the human field that it is important that you believe you are worthy, that it is important you love yourself. And this is absolutely true. It is indeed very vital for your progression, in your awakening, in your expansion of self. However, the way that it is commonly practiced is to grow feelings within self of love and honoring and worthiness, but to not turn that to this greater definition of self within the physical experience. And so one will love themselves, honor themselves, believe they are worthy, yet at the same time be displeased, dislike, hate aspects of their life. And so this philosophy of self-love and self-worthiness is incomplete. And as such, it is a hindrance. It is a barrier to further greater expansion into what you have the potential to become. So if you truly wish to be on the journey of expansion, then it is very important that you love everything. Literally everything. If it is within your awareness, if you know of its existence, then it is part of your life. And if you have any feelings for it other than love, you are restricting your expansion. Now, we understand that this is counterintuitive because at this time there is the cabal of darkness, this unified malevolence, which are foisting their elitist plans on the rest of humanity, which elevates them to the status of demigod, reigning supreme until the end of time over a diminished, suffering majority. So how could one have love for these beings of great darkness, of evil intent? Well, we are going to give you some tools, some perspectives, which will make it easier for you to have a love in your heart even for them. The first that we will say is they are playing a role. They have at their core, their true essence, they are a being of the light exactly as you are. As you are an individuation of the One. You are the One experiencing itself through the unique perspective which is you. The One is love and light. And therefore, you are love and light in your true essence. And those that form the cabal of darkness, although they are very evil, also originate from the same source. They also are formed from the substance, an individuation of the One, the love and light of the One. So this true essence of them is pure, is beautiful, just as you are. So it is possible to love that aspect of them and not the grotesque form they have taken in this current life cycle. But also, even more than that, for humanity to make its way into the fourth density state, it must pass through the gauntlet of darkness and emerge in a state of realization that it is the light and nothing but the light. But this is through a process of experiencing the darkness, feeling the darkness, toying with the darkness, and going through having the realization that is incongruent with who I'm beginning to understand that I am. I am not the darkness. I purge the darkness. So what am I? I am the light, polarized to the light. This is the process of awakening for the human context in the third density. And the culmination will be the realization that I am the light. And this will occur while humanity passes through the birth canal of ascension into the fourth density state. But for this to occur, clearly there must be a powerful force of darkness such that humanity feels this incongruency, which awakens it to its true nature and rejects the darkness and makes its way all the way to the light. So this energetic process can occur of ascension into the fourth density. So those who form the cabal of darkness, before their incarnation into this life cycle, they knew the sacrifice they were making to make the philosophical choice, or to be born into circumstances where it was very likely they were going to make the philosophical choice to follow the pathway of darkness and thereby surrender the likelihood that they will be part of this ascension, the harvest into the fourth density state. This is an act of very great and profound love, to make such a sacrifice so that you and your fellow humans, these fellow aspects of this single being you form together, the humanity being, can make the ascension into a realm of unprecedented beauty and love and peace. So, there is no one within the human field that is undeserving of love. There's undeserving of your energetic quality being in that form when you consider them, when you focus on them. And through this philosophy, you are loving all aspects of your life. It is to say that you are accepting all aspects of your life. You accept this aspect of your life is as it is. It may not be your preference, but you accept it is as it is. And this is a much freer, this is a much looser, this is a much more masterful and wise way to interpret the world. And really, it is how you are interpreting yourself. To accept the world and all that is grotesque in it is to accept yourself. This is true self-love. This is true self-worthiness. Because there is nothing about this expanded definition of self in the physical that you do not accept. And by having this energy of acceptance of the world, and by implication of yourself, then the barriers that restrict your expansion become porous, permeable, and eventually evaporate. And you are now much more free to expand in your self-definition and to move into the potential that you possess for extra dimensionality, which until now has been underutilized, laying dormant. But the way that the human field, each individual, usually treats their life is to have a sense of, I don't like that. I hate that. This displeases me. And this is the opposite of acceptance. It is resistance. I do not accept this aspect of myself. I resist myself. And so you are literally inhibiting your own expansion through the unconscious yet philosophical choice to resist yourself. As you can see, that is insanity. To resist oneself, to inhibit one's own expansion. So, let your new philosophy be that you accept all aspects of your life. And this can be done by taking a different perspective on what is occurring. So if you have an occurrence which was unpleasant, rather than condemn that experience, condemn those who were players in the experience, give thanks and gratitude that you have been shown one of the ways in which you are resisting yourself, that you are limiting your own expansion. And with gratitude, bless that you had that experience. Give thanks to your Creator for the perfection, so that you can have this continuous discovery of self. And finally, accept that it occurred. It is what it is. And now you have the loving indifference of the One. This is synonymous with saying you are becoming more realized of what you are, because you are the One. And you can look upon your life with this quality of the One, this powerful, releasing, expansive philosophy about the occurrences within your life. Now, this does not mean that you allow yourself to be bullied, or you allow yourself to be victimized, or you allow yourself to be mistreated. Of course, you still navigate your life to move away from those experiences when it is necessary. But without getting bogged down into the semantics of when it is wise to move away or move towards some conflict in your life. But of course, there is the occasion where it is important that you stand your ground, even knowing that conflict will be the consequence. But what is of importance here is that you don't resist your life as it is. You accept your life as it is. Now, this is a counterintuitive philosophy for some, because the rationalization is, if I just accept this part of my life which I really don't like, that sucks, that's crappy, then I'm going to get more of it. It's going to come to me because I'm not blocking it. I'm not pushing it away and saying, get out of my life. I'm opening myself up and say, okay, come in, trample all over me. Poison my life with this occurrence. But it is the opposite. Because whatever you resist, you get more of. Your experience is a physical metaphor of your state of being. This is to say, of your energetic quality, your energetic signature, your vibratory tone. This is what life is bringing back to you so that you can calibrate. If you are resisting your life, then you are condemning your life, but your life is giving you a great service. It is saying, hey you, I'm coming to you in this form because I'm showing you literally, in a physical metaphor, who you are being, so that you can get it, and you can start being differently, so that doesn't manifest within your experience. But if you resist it and damn it, then you are missing the whole point. Instead of allowing it to serve you, you are necessitating that it keeps bringing you the same message because you're not getting it. You're not growing. You're not calibrating. You're not absorbing this new understanding into self. And so you resist it, and life must knock on the door louder. It must turn up the volume such that this understanding can be incorporated into self. And so there is a pattern forming, and this pattern is in an escalation of energetic dynamics because it came once and you didn't get it. So it must come again in a larger form so that maybe now you will get it, but you didn't get it. You resisted. You continue to resist. You resist harder. And when there is harder resistance, there is an intensification of the emotional quality, of the vibratory tone that originally created that experience, this continuing pattern. And if one is not able to move into a place of acceptance and must continue to resist with greater and greater and greater force and effort, that eventually life will bring you an experience of the same quality, of the same opportunity to understand self, of such a volume and intensity that it will literally disrupt your life, such that you are left with no other choice than to look around the rubble of what once was your life and ask yourself, contemplate, what the heck just happened? And in that pause, that introspection, perhaps then you will go, I get it. I get it. However, that's a very drastic way to learn your lessons. It is much easier and much more congruent with the way the design was intended to be utilized. To place an introspective observation on the experiences that you do not enjoy and ask oneself, what state of being have I been holding which has manifested this unwanted experience? Of all the infinite number of permutations of the way that experience, that a moment could have occurred, why is the one that came into my perception in the shape that it is? And of course, it is in the shape that it is because that particular permutation of all the infinite number of ways that experience could have occurred is the one which is the perfect vibratory match to you. So therefore, turn the vision internally, because it's you. That experience has come into your perception because of you, because of your beingness, your vibratory tone. What is it I am thinking? What is it I am feeling? What is it that I believe? that is causing my life to reflect back to me in this way. The accuracy of who I am being. So, when you can go through your experiences, especially those which are unpleasant, and you can do it within a state of acceptance, having this masterful philosophy to accept all that is in your life, including the parts which are unpleasant, and in fact have a loving gratitude for the parts that are unpleasant, because they are giving you vital information on how you can and must calibrate your beingness such that it is more aligned with the true source of who you are. Meaning that you become more God-like. You become more an ambassador of the energy of the One, love and light. And then if you are successful in doing this, in living this way of acceptance, where you only have love for everything, including the unpleasant, then your state of beingness, your vibratory tone, is now predominantly from the lightness end of the spiritual spectrum. Love and the spectrum of light. Gratitude, peace, happiness, joy, bliss, love. In the state of total acceptance, these will be, by default, your predominant energetic qualities, your state of beingness. And then your physical metaphor, the feedback data which is provided to you lovingly by life, will be giving you a reflection of this quality you now possess, of your state of beingness. So your experiences will be experiences which are very conducive to feeling gratitude, peace, happiness, joy, bliss, love, and all other derivatives of love. So, inevitably, when this is your philosophy, to be in a state of acceptance of self, because life is you, then very naturally, consequentially, your life will take on a form which is very easy to love, which is very easy to accept, because it will become a truer and truer and more purified reflection of who you truly are. You truly are the love and light of the One. And you will finally be in a state of acceptance of self, of love of self, of worthiness of self. And these limitations which have prevented you from expanding into a greater version of self will have disappeared. And you will level up in your life, in yourself, in a way which lifts you above the crowd. Not from an understanding of elitism, but from an understanding of becoming a beacon of the love and light of the One, which resonates with all those around you, so they also begin to percolate with these energies which you're releasing in yourself, thereby accelerating the awakening of humanity, the assembling of each individual component into the larger being, the humanity being, such that the humanity being is beginning to dawn and realize itself in preparation for its full wakefulness in the fourth density. This is vital work. This is important understanding. More so now than any other time in the historical perspective of your race, of your species. So, love yourself from this definition that you are your life. Let each moment flow through you without resistance, but with total loving indifference, such that you are permanently in a state of acceptance. And then witness as your life transforms, and you also transform, and sense within self a growing appreciation and realization of what you truly are, and delight in the surprises which will become your own experience of self as you reach new levels of love and the capacities that come with this expansion into your extra dimensionality, your insight, your wisdom, your compassion, and much more will all be enhanced. And you will notice that you are finally becoming the being that you always knew you had the potential to be, that you sensed was within, but you didn't understand how to release.